Hello, everybody. I'm here at the Emcee. My new album, The Eighth Letter, just came out, and this is my album analysis.
And welcome back. I'm Mike with the Turntable Teachers, and class is officially back in session. We got another album analysis here, and we have our good friend Hero the Emcee, who just dropped his brand new project, as you heard, called The Eighth Letter. So excited to dive into it with him today. Hero, what's going on, man?
Dude, it's a good-ass day to be alive.
It really is, isn't it?
It is.
Oh, it's great to see you, man. Well, or see you over Zoom, of course. Very different than we did the last one. Hero, the Emcee, of course. Actually, all the album analyses that are actually going to be coming out are all Turntable Teachers alumni of the podcast, if you will. So we got plenty more coming. There's already Cameron Iandolo and Washi are already out now, so make sure you guys go check those out for their projects. And we got Hero the Emcee today with the Eighth Letter. You've been working on this project for a while. I've had it for over a month, I think. You sent it to me a while ago, and we've been going back and forth about this project for quite a bit. I was telling you just how impressed I was, and just want to obviously congratulate you on what I think is your best body of work to date. And you dropped a plethora of singles from this project. You had the Wait, then you had None, followed by Mind State with the Chemic, and then here came the album.
Wanted to live good, so I started living great. Wanted a full stomach, so I had to fill the plate. Hoping I get to see my homies at the heaven gates, but the fiends in my city, man, they never correlate. Got dreams bigger than B.I.G. had, but I'm not playing, just saying need it bad. Never sad if I was meditated in the lab. Press play and relax, but the record's gonna smash.
So talk to me a little bit about the process of creating this one, and really just where were you at? Like, what were you trying to accomplish with this project?
I think with this album was never supposed to come out, and this album was never an album until I really sat down and stopped giving a shit about what everybody else thought and really what I wanted to make. And I had this album started in March, and I recorded most of it between March and May of this year. And then I made The Wait, and I wanted that to be the first single. Keep in mind, at the time, I had no idea what the album was going to be called. But I put out The Wait, and then I went to work on the next single, and I just realized that this album, I was just told by many people that this body of work I had wasn't good enough, and it wasn't going anywhere. So I was recommended by people that these are the singles I should lead with, and I should scrap the other ones. And at that point, earlier this year, I was kind of obsessed with making it and being big and getting my shit out there. But I sat down with myself in the middle of September, and I just woke up one day and I was just like, I don't give a shit. Like, I got 15 tracks that I know are fucking good enough, and I'm putting them out, and I don't care who the fuck. I don't give a shit. The Eighth Letter to me is a big reference to Rakim and an even bigger reference to Guru, and this is the only project I've ever put out that was made directly for me, and I'm so proud of that because I didn't have to worry about what anybody else thinks. I encourage the crazy amount of streams I've got and the crazy amount of love I've got from this project. I'm just thankful for everything.
Man, this is for me, from like Esther, hearing your music for the last, I'd say, almost year and a half. I agree. I think this is you. I think this is your best body of work. It's still, and for me, what I was so great to see, I think there's such growth if you check out your last two projects to this one. And for me personally, like, there were certain parts of this album where you're still rooted in that boom bap sound that you love and you pay homage to, like you said, with Guru, Rakim. I mean, the list goes on of great old school boom bap artists, hip hop artists, and for you, I felt like you even brought in production and just that you hadn't before. Like, some of these tracks were a little bit more soulful and jazz sounding, and then you even had a lot of songs that had a lot of vocal samples in them, and there was just a lot. And then you even had a bit different delivery too on some of these songs with your cadence. So like just the opening track, Reminisce 1, like I've never heard you spit a verse like that or spit a song like that. Just the and it was so heartfelt to hear, and I thought that was such a good thing that you really gave a lot of variety on this one. Not only is this your best work, I think it's your most it's the most versatile album you've created.
Now I reminisce how you sunk to the abyss. I admit we was brought up from the bottom of this pit, and I swear I see visions of what could have been within. Pay attention when I spit it, cause I spin it to relive. Just a kid, we was young, but that gun ruled our life. Robbed of our soul and stolen of our sight. See, the weight was more important than the foreign things in white. See, we had to feed the family, pour the porridge every night. Out of spite, we was dormant, but we got it on the regular. Feeling like a stegosaurus.
So I want to talk about Reminisce Part One, because that's one of my favorite tracks from this, and that you hit it off. You don't really hit the listeners with something like hard hitting to start. It's more something, so much more stripped back, melodic, soulful, and I think that just the production on this one was just so beautiful, and your delivery is just such a passionate delivery. So tell me about this song. Like, this is one of the most unique songs I think that you've ever created, in my opinion.
Yeah, Reminisce Part One is the only song that hasn't been recorded or written between March and May. I actually wrote it in 2016 and then recorded it in 2017. So I've been sitting on this track a while, and there were many other projects I was going to put it on, but I just felt like it didn't fit. And I started working on this one, and then I got the beat for Reminisce Part 2, and I just knew that it was going to be perfect for this one. I equate Reminisce Part 1 with having the gun pointed at you, and then Reminisce Part 1 with me pointing the gun. It's just, Reminisce Part 1 is just about, it's about a friend dying. It's about having him die and having his legacy being printed on you. And it's a super fucking emotional song. I didn't know I wanted to start off the album with it, but at the end of the song, the film reel stops, and then in Banished, the stereo gets plugged in.
Right.
So I feel like Reminisce Part 1 and Reminisce Part 2 kind of stand on their own, and then Banished is the true intro to the album. But I don't know, that it's a fucking awesome song.
It's so good. I was stunned when I was listening to it. I was just like, that was the song on this project that stood out the most to me, because it was so different than anything you'd done before. And I really just felt, I felt your emotion in that track. So what was the concept you were going for? I know it's more or less like, that we as a consumer base, like when artists or really anybody, right, we don't appreciate people until they're gone, until they die. So, and I think that was really like the main point of this album, and also to pay, to continue to pay homage to the people and the artists in particular that you love while they're here, and also while they're dead too. So just tell me a little bit about, the concept behind this and theme really behind this project.
I dropped a song in 2019 off the Mission Hill project called All in My Head. And that song touched a little base on XX, about Triple X, and how he was beating the shit out of his pregnant girlfriend, and like people gave a shit about that, and people stopped listening to him about that, and then he died, right? And then all of a sudden he's on t-shirts, and he's the next he's a legend, and he's the next Tupac. And I don't know, I just feel like shit like that, once you die, there's an impossible standard given to you that even dead you cannot reach. And I'm also trying to convey the message that, well, Biggie and Tupac are fucking legends, right? If they didn't die and they were still putting out records today, well, would we still give a shit about them? Or would they drop one bad album like Eminem and then be considered the cringiest rapper of all time?
I do.
Would Biggie and Tupac be on everybody's top 10 if they were still alive, It
begs the question. It really does. I mean, I see what you're saying there, and I think that I don't know the answer to that question, because it's hard to know. Yeah, it's hard to know what would have been. Obviously, it's more of a rhetorical question, but no, I think that concept, that thought, is very profound and unique, and aware. I think aware of how we as people, how we sort of gravitate towards some of these artists when they are in fact gone. There is something to that, I think, and to that effect. This album, like I said, I've really just thought you gave a thoughtful, you really brought yourself into this project, but it was also a thoughtful, interpretation of a lot of these themes. And yeah, so I mean, Reminisce one of my favorites. Obviously, you had the singles on this project, and you did a video for The Wait. So talk to me a little bit about the 3 singles that you had and why those stood out to you to be singles.
I think The Wait not only do I bury myself in a homage track to Guru, but The Wait is just the perfect hero song. I mean, you get the pain, you get the lyrics, you get the bars, you get the cool ass hook, you get the scratches, you get the crazy boom bap beat produced by Loman, who is legendary to work with. The Wait was just a no-brainer. I do think that there are better tracks in this album, because that's how you should do it. You should drop a dope ass single, but then like leave the best kept secret for the album, which is probably Love Me Now.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah. None. I knew I wanted it to be a single because it was inherently different from The Wait. I couldn't drop something that was very similar. I was super nervous to put it out. Some people told me that I shouldn't, but I did it anyway because I just didn't give a shit. And then Mind State is a dope-ass Boston representative track, and I felt bad because Chemic sent me a verse a while ago, and I just kind of wanted to make good on the promise that it's going to come out soon. But I put it out at the time when I didn't think this album was going to be an album. I was just putting out singles, you know? And then I just kind of woke up and I was just like, fuck it, you know? We got an album.
Mind state like a 90s rapper who died. Thug life screaming while my feet are up in the sky. I shoot up to Harlem to hang out with Big L. Only give punishment if you talk with my capital. This ain't New York rap, this boss town. Bunch of clowns trying to set up a circus, get shut down. Word around is the sound be getting better. You heard right, confirm nice. Lyrics will stick, bite like germ lice.
I know you did a lot of production on this project too. So talk to me a little bit about like the sound, and then obviously just you making beats and producing for this album. Like, what was that process like for you?
Yeah, so I produced 6 out of the 15 tracks. That's over a third. I don't know if that's an accomplishment or not. I'm definitely not as good as a producer as I am a rapper. I'll make like 1,000 beats and I'll find one that's like, this one's okay. It's not something it's two different brain. Like producing and rapping is like, it's like 2 different sides of the brain, and sometimes they don't click. I knew I needed that like darkish boom bap shit, and every track I produced, I think I nailed that.
No, I said I think that's a really cool part of this is you doing actually some of the production on this. So that's fantastic too. Tell me some of your favorite tracks, man. Like, or moments from creating this project. Or what are some highlights for you in your mind?
Man, I don't want to sound cocky, but I think I created like 15 tracks that I just all love equally. Like there isn't a track where I just, cause like I'll go back to listen to Mission Hill and there'll be like a few tracks where I just skip, and it's like every time one of these tracks comes on, it's like I gotta hear it. I don't know what I did, and I don't know if it's just me, but like I feel like I created 15 different tracks that just all sound awesome.
They still work,
but
work together too.
Yeah, I just created a project and surrounded myself with the people who loved making music, and without the help of a lot of the people that I made a thank you post for the other day, it just, this project wouldn't happen. And there's a lot of people, including you, who helped this album become an album.
I'm just happy to be a part of the process, man, and that you consulted me on some of this. And no, it was really humbling, and I'm just happy for you, because I think I agree. I think like I loved the whole thing top to bottom. I really did. Like Banished, dude, that beat is awesome, dude.
Banished has like that like, and that fucking M dot line in it.
Oh yeah.
Confident and cocky, ego is the enemy. M's with dots at the end be the remedy.
Dude, yeah, M Dot's one of my favorite people in the business, man. He's great. So he's awesome. He is great. Yeah. No, and you had a slew of even guest features on this. I mean, Amir Max, as you mentioned, you were on his show the other night. I mean, he's on this project. Chemic, I mean, that's an artist that we've really been enjoying for quite a while now. I think we've actually were the one that put us onto Chemic. And then who was on Banished? Was it Atai? Is that how you pronounce it? I don't even know who that is.
He's a vocalist from Drake at Mass.
Oh wow.
So like north-ish Lowell area, and you know, he's I had him on a show in September, and he's just awesome. I sent him this verse. I didn't send him the verse. I sent him this song, and it didn't have a hook, and I thought that I might want scratches on it for the hook, but I was like, all these other songs have scratches on it, so I'll send it to this kid and see what he can do. And he sent back. I had no expectations, but he sent back something fucking awesome.
Oh yeah, no, I think that song is a highlight for me that came together, like those two fronted like back to back. I think it gets you so deep in your emotions in that with that Reminisce one, and then Banish just goes in a completely different direction and like just knocks your doors off, man.
Yo, I've been fucking banished. It's outlandish how I'm handling this. I mean shit, no breaks when I'm taking a piss. I could paint a fucking picture where I stand here and spit. Keep it scandalous like Miss T did, or maybe Prince when he dipped in his red Corvette. Have I peaked? Not yet. Still gotta seek those checks. Take a seat, rethink how I be this best.
And and then obviously you had Paranoia on here, and Zorg of 11 for Amends, which another great song. Tell me a little bit about that one, and how that one came to be.
Nick Lovin hated editing the audio graphic for that song because it was 6 minutes long. He was like, "Yo, what's up with that? What's up with this 6 minute? What's up with this 6 minutes of nonsense I had to edit?" But making that song, well, Chuck Kennedy sent me the beat, and I wanted a bunch of different people on it. But Zorg sent me a verse in like he sent me a verse in like May, and then Paranoia sent me a verse. He said he wrote it in like June, but I hit him up in September, and it was like, "Yo, this album's happening. Like, I need the verse like now." And he sent it back, and it was just fucking. It's awesome. It's one of the most raw, nastiest songs I've ever been a part of. It's just a bunch of dirty ass bars.
That's all. Yeah, this project's filled with that. Plenty of bars, plenty of just quality flows and punchlines. Man, you like I said, yeah, you killed this whole thing. But and then all of a sudden, then of course the Amir Max track, Taking Names. That was like a very haunting, chilling beat. Like I liked that, and I think the contrast of the way. What you did with the production and what Amir did, I thought was awesome. His verse, he killed that shit too. He really did.
No, he did. I'm so blessed that everybody who I wanted to get on the project got on it, you know?
Absolutely. And I got to say, so I've saved this for a little while. My favorite song, you did allude to this a little earlier. When I heard Love Me Now, the first time I heard that song, I was like, yo, this is the one. Like, I was like, this is the one for a lot of reasons. I think for me personally, that's like, you know, that embodies like really everything that I love about a hip hop track. You know, it's an awesome vocal sample. It's got, you know, awesome bars and flows from you. It's got still like a boom bap vibe to it, but still has a modern-ish sound to it, but then also still has, you know, a very like nostalgic sound to it at the same time. And then Bekah Baby. I don't even know who she is either, but her hook is awesome. I love at the end when she's like, we're gonna take it back one more time. does the hook again. Oh, so love it, dude.
So that so she sent me this hook. She sent me 90 files from her engineer. So I had 90 vocal takes to work with, and every single one except for the last one she sent me, every single one except for vocal sample 90, which was, I guess, the perfect one, which I didn't use, was every single one said, like, one more time or try again or whatever. So I felt like I had to put that in there because I was hearing it so fucking much. But, I mixed and mastered everything off this project. And it really gave me the freedom to figure out what I wanted to do. And when she says one more time and it slams back in, it's awesome.
Yeah, that's the track I think we're gonna do the song breakdown for, because this one is, like I said, my favorite. I think you agree that it's the hidden gem of this song. I think of this album. And before we get into it, man, I just want to again congratulate you, because on not only a fantastic body of work, but just you even saying you mix and mastered the whole thing. Like it's just such a testament to you and your artistry and craft and how far you've come. So. This album's incredible, people. Make sure you check it out. But we'll definitely get through to to Love Me Now. I can't wait to dive into these lyrics, man.
So it starts off with 4 cuts. You know I slaughter him for days, from Boston to Brockton, our box competition. You know I slaughter him for days, since Biggie and Pac died, the game has been fucked. So I have, I Slaughter Him for Days. That's from Bars Over Bars off the Maximum Carnage project. From Boston to Brockton at Boss Competition. That's from Dodge This from Mission Hill. And then the only cut on this whole album from a different song off this album is on this song, and it's Since Biggie and Pac died, the game has been fucked, and that's from the Amir Max song, the one taking names with Amir Max. I don't really think of the significance of these cuts as important. I just thought that the lyrics sort of matched the tone of the song, that aggressive, shit. If they don't love me now, then they never will. Only looking down from the clouds like I'm Emmett Till. I don't frown cause the sound been better still. Pounce on the homie, you can drown on a bigger pill. If they don't love me now, they never will. That's the essence of the song, where if you don't love me now, you probably never will. If you don't like the music I make, you're not going to like the music I make later. But the only way they will love me is if I'm looking down on them like I'm dead in heaven, like Emmett Till. And Emmett Till, unfortunately, was a black man in the 1920s who was hung for making a pass at a white woman, allegedly. I don't frown cause the sound been better still. Pounce on the homie, you can drown on a bigger pill. So I'm not sad because I know that I'm not sad that you don't like me, because I know that my music is still fucking good. And if you try to run up on me, then you can, there'll always be a bigger pill. So I'll get you. Getting some bills, but I don't like it or love it. You think 50 spent 50 grand and thought nothing of it? Of course he did. Said he didn't. That's the product of bluffing. I don't play with my money. That's the top of discussion. So the 50 spent 50 grand, that's from fucking, it's from Hustler's Ambition, when he's like, it feels good to spend 50 grand and think nothing of it. Where it's like, of course you thought about spending 50 grand, bro. That's a lot of money. And I just don't play with my money. I'm so fucking cheap. Like, for me, spending $1 is like spending $100 is like spending $1. I just don't like spending any money, period. Man, I'm rough in the box. I ain't talking about fucking. You supposed to end up in the box when you coming from nothing. Not me. Turn nothing to something, and that's something. If you schemers want beef, better ready your stomach. You supposed to end up in the box when you coming from nothing. When you grow up in a society that's poor and there's just poverty and drugs and violence everywhere, you're supposed to end up in prison. You're not supposed to make good music or be happy with your life. But I really, truly think that I made something out of nothing, And then the next 4 bars, so far above it like Weezy, I'm superhuman. You don't need to be stupid to know that it be exclusive. It's not. What I need is the music to keep me moving. Ice cold with the flow. It's why I rap like a Bruin. So Lil Wayne has an album called Superhuman. So far above it like Weezy, I'm superhuman. And then Ice cold like a flow. Why I rap like a Bruin. Bekah Baby's hook, I can't sing, so I'm just going to pretend like she rapped it.
I'ma make it out, no matter what will happen, I'ma turn it around. Yeah, I beat the odds for real. This music is my life, the only way I can feel. If they don't love me now, they never will. Do whatever I could to survive and try to heal. I'ma look down and I'm smiling, babe. The shit I did to get up here, it's really crazy.
At the time, I only sent her my first verse. But I think she did a perfect job of sort of listing everything I talk about in it, the sort of looking down on them, and if you don't love me now, and sort of coming up from nothing. I beat these odds for real, So for the second verse, don't make me have to say it again. We ain't friends, not partners. We ain't riding to death. You hot in your flesh. That's why I ride with a tech. You see, this life that I'm living be a challenge at best. So I sort of grew up in a place where even your friends can take from you. Even people you think are your friends can not be your friends and can really turn into your worst enemies, not only because of money, but just because, it's about being from a place where death is truly around every block, and having to ride around and walk around with a gun is definitely a scary feeling, but sometimes you need that layer of protection, A test using true morals. The technique is immortal. Border on the line of just being normal. I had the portal to the upper levels. Top of the building. It wasn't easy. Never is being greasy. I was afraid for a reason. It's this whole 4 bars is just another way of me saying, making something out of nothing. These kids pack pistols, point them at their providers. Call them O'Driscolls like the cabin on fire on the wire way. I walk around eggshells. I expel any fucking rapper trying to say that I can't spell. So not only am I walking on a tightrope, but I'm walking around eggshells. So the way to play it safe in Roxbury is really to just you got to walk around eggshells on a tightrope. It's just anything can stop you from living. Last line.
If they don't love me now, will they ever like a piston? Blast it off and come send it. Never hesitating to spit in a different letter, but I'll pass it off to Detroit Becca, she said it better.
So we do the hook, and then it cuts out, and then it's like one more time, and then it slams back in.
I promise I'ma make it out. No matter what will happen, I'ma turn it around. Yeah, I beat the odds for real. This music is my life, the only way I can feel. If they don't love me now, they never will. Do whatever I can to survive and try to heal. I'ma look down and I'm smiling, babe. The shit I did to get up here is really crazy.
If they don't love me now, then they never will. Ready fools try to test me, ready to impress me. If they don't love me now, then they never will. Ready fools try to test me, ready to impress me. If they don't love me now, then they never will. Ready fools.
Here are the Emcee people. The 8th letter. It's out now on all streaming services. We're going to link it in the description of this podcast. Make sure you check that out. Run the numbers up. Follow him on Instagram. Follow Bars Over Bars. Support this man. And yeah, here are the Emcee, everybody. Thank you so much for being here, Hero. Really appreciate it once again. And congratulations on the project. Without further ado, I'm Mike. This is Hero the Emcee with the Turntable Teachers. And class is dismissed.